Most people are born clearly male or female, but some aren't. Those who don't fit either category face daily challenges living in a society divided into men and women, from identity and official documents to which change room to use. But now transgender, intersex and gender diverse people are being recognised in the eyes of the law. Monique Shafter reports.
At first I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. I spent oh so many nights just thinking how you did me wrong. When I was a child, though, I wasn't happy with boy roles and not being allowed to play with dolls and stuff. I seemed to identify much more with the feminine side of things and patterned myself from my mother. Go on now, go, walk out the door.
Sydney-sider Norrie was registered male at birth, but as a child began a lifelong quest to discover his or her true identity.
I identified, I guess, as a transsexual in my early 20s. I had friends that were trannies. I went on hormones. I was doing drag shows. So had the sex change and discovered that being stuck in one role wasn't really good for me. And I thought about what gender would I want to be given the option, and it's a whole person. It's male and female in some ways, in other ways it's neither. Physically, I'm neuter, like your pet. Socially, I'm both.
In 2009, Norrie began a journey to be legally recognised as neither male nor female. Norrie applied to the Registry of Births, Deaths and Marriages to have her ID certificate changed to sex non-specific, and in 2010 became the first person recognised as neither man nor woman in the eyes of the New South Wales government. But 4 months later, the registry wrote to Norrie after receiving legal advice and said the change had been issued in error and was invalid.
When it happened, I couldn't see a way forward. I was just down in a deep black hole. It was a strange time. It really felt like I had been, in a way, been socially murdered or socially assassinated.
Norrie appealed the decision to the Administrative Decisions Tribunal, but the case was dismissed. So Norrie went to the New South Wales Supreme Court, and on May 31st this year, won.
Oh, we'd won. After so long, it seems that the court has finally said, of course, sex is not just binary, don't be silly.
This is the first time that a court anywhere in Australia has recognised that somebody can be something other than male or female. It breaks open this binary idea of sex, binary idea of gender identity, and said that actually, yes, there are some people in the world who don't fit into these two categories, and that the law can and should recognise them.
The matter was sent back to the tribunal to decide on an official sexless designation for Norrie. But the legal battle continues. The Registrar of Births, Deaths and Marriages has now applied to the High Court for special leave to appeal.
Government had said they were going to do this thing and had done it, and then pulled it out from under. No, we couldn't have done that. You're wrong. You're not getting it.
Norrie's case only applies to people who've had what's commonly known as sex reassignment surgery and choose to identify as sex non-specific.
If you're going to specify in terms of male or female, I'm not specifically male or female.
However, there are others, like Tony Briffa, whose biological sex is not distinctly male or female, who are also pushing for legal recognition.
People that are intersex, like me, are a combination of male and female. We were just born that way. That's what nature made us, and we should be able to be recognised as a combination of male and female if we want to.
Councillor Tony Briffa, former Mayor of Hobsons Bay, Victoria, was born intersex. Doctors made the decision the family should raise the baby as a girl and surgically removed Tony's male attributes. Tony lived as a woman for 30 years.
I had a wonderful childhood as Antoinette, grew up as a girl, had wonderful experiences as a woman, then lived a few years as a man to see what that was like, and I took some testosterone at the time and for a few years to see what that was like, and that was an interesting experience, but that wasn't the full me either. I just want a birth certificate that actually reflects what I am, and that is a combination of male and female. It's not really too much to ask.
For people who aren't male or female,
Thank you.
everyday life throws up a number of challenges.
How do you negotiate things like public toilets and change rooms and those sorts of parts of society?
I go where I need to when I need to, and just keep my head up high and keep to myself. Sometimes I've been made to feel uncomfortable in the ladies' change room at the pool, so I started just using the handicap one, which is also the child changing one. So it seems like an appropriate third option.
I went through a body scanner at Sydney Airport, and obviously the staff there realised that I wasn't exactly male, so I got asked the question, excuse me, are you a man or a woman? And that's a trick question for someone like me. And I ended up saying, well, I'm a woman, because I knew that was going to be the easier option for me if I was going to be searched, because I don't have typical male genitalia. So I then was searched, unfortunately, by customs, but that was okay because that's how I present. But incredibly, they didn't search my backpack. They just wanted to search my person to work out what I was. And it's all about my sex.
There is a lot of stigma and a lot of discrimination towards people who don't fit into our ideas of who we should be and what sex is, and so people tend to stay hidden.
For people like Norrie and Tony Briffa, the fight for legal recognition is far from over.
Intersex people have larger issues such as the medicalisation that we receive as children, in terms of the surgeries, the non-consensual surgeries that are irreversible. And things like marriage, you know, when John Howard changed the Marriage Act to specify that marriage is between a man and a woman, what the hell does that mean for someone like me?
Monique Shafter reporting.